This year on MageeNews.com, we're featuring our teachers. We want you to know your teacher. And today I have with me a special person, a new person in our community. It's Mr. Curtis Alston, and he's the band director at Magee High School. And I asked him if he would come and just tell us a little bit about himself. So I'm just going to let you take it away from there.
Thank you. I was born in Meridian, pre-60s, and finished high school at Quitman High School. I was raised on a small farm. No one in my family had ever gone to college, and my father had come home from working off somewhere and brought a trumpet and a guitar, put them in the middle of the floor, and told my older brother and I, and this was when I was just about 10 years old, told my older brother and I to choose. I went for the guitar, he pushed me down, and I was stuck with the trumpet, and I've played it ever since, and it's been my best friend. No one in my family had ever gone to college, and probably the only reason I went was because I received a band scholarship from Jones County Junior College. And I was there when they named it the Maroon Typhoon. So that ages me, but it was a great experience. Then I went on to study music and English at Southern Miss William Carey, and then ended up with a master's degree from New Orleans Baptist Seminary in music, which is where I met my wife, who had been a foreign missionary, and she had gone to the seminary to just get a few courses, and she took a handbell class just for recreation. Well, it was a requirement for me, and she played the tiny little handbells on one end of the table, and we had a U-shaped setup for the handbells, and I played the giant bells, so I was right across from her. And she says that the only way she learned my name is because the professor kept calling my name because I kept messing up because I was watching her the whole time. And we have a 12-year-old daughter who's in the 7th grade here at Magee. My wife just last week began teaching at the Achievement Center. She teaches elementary school and has taught many years. She's originally from Florida, but like I said, we met in New Orleans, lived there for a while, then moved to the Orlando area about 14 years ago, and we taught there. That's where our daughter was born. And I was just looking for a smaller school. We were in Seminole County, which is the county just above Orange County where Orlando is, and it's just so many people. I mean, nearly 3 million people just in that central area. The schools were enormous. The school where I was had 2,500 students. I mean, we had 250 faculty members. And it was just too large. And I was talking to my wife and said, you know, I'm ready for a smaller setting. I grew up in a small area, rural area. Let's see what's available. And so we looked in several states, because I'm certified in several different states. But Magee seemed to be the one that opened up and kept progressing through the process. And both my wife and I are glad to be here. Some of you are thinking, well, why Magee? I keep getting that question, and I say, well, why not? I mean,
that's right.
It's a small town, and that's what we were looking for. And people say, well, we'll move to Orlando. Well, yes, it has its benefits, but it is just so many people. There were 117 different languages spoken in my high school, or the high school where I taught. So it's just a different kind of place. So we're here, and we've been working hard. I say we because it involves my family as well, working hard to not only fit in the community, but to get the band prepared for contests. I wasn't hired till late July, which gave us about 2 weeks late start. So we've been 2 weeks behind since we started. And so we're not going to what they call pre-fest, which is a pre-contest competition, because really it serves no purpose. We're just going to use that time to prepare for the state contest, which is the week after that. But they're a good group of kids, and we're slowly progressing, and they're having to make transition to a new director, because for all the high school students, you know, the previous band director had been here 6 years, so she was the only director they had ever had. And her approach was different than mine. Like any director, you have to make transitions. So they're learning me, and I'm learning them, and we're slowly moving forward.
Well, I think that was interesting. I'm glad to know how you got here. And I think many of you, like me, did not know how Mr. Alston came to Magee, excuse me. And we are so glad to have you, and we look forward to hearing that band all year, Christmas parades, homecoming parade, and whenever y'all are playing.